Today is the day. I picked up a Detroit diesel. Look at this. This is a little 271. Got the generator on it, got the radiator on it, and it looks complete. I'm not 100% sure if this turns over, but if it does, this is gonna be a total win. I'm super excited about this. It's about 8:30 at night right now. I got a 2-hour drive ahead, and yeah, this is going in the WD-6, and again, it weighs a lot. As you can see, I mean, my truck is loaded down, and yeah, so super excited about this thing. Again, couple-hour drive, and I'll probably start recording the next day when I get this thing home. All right, it is about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I've done a little bit of work on this thing, and I've done some work on other vehicles around here, and you know, I just came back out here and I'm gonna try figuring out how I'm gonna start this thing. I've gotten it to turn over. It was a little stuck when I got it, but I freed it up, and yeah, so if we look here, we got Emerson Diesel Incorporated out of Seattle, Washington, and then you got pull to stop, and then you got a pull to start. So this is some sort of kill switch. Again, I've had a battery hooked up to it. There's my little diesel piece here. So pull to stop, which if you pull this thing out, let me see here. Let's take the valve cover off. All right. If you pull this out, oh, and then these little plungers come all the way out. Okay. So where it is right now, it should be ready to start. But this is pull to start right here. So it activates something. I'm almost certain of it. But I've gotten it to turn over. I just haven't had any luck with it pumping fuel. Filter's not clogged, I know that, so I'm wondering if I have some sort of air in the injection line or something. But it's not even popping off with ether either. But so I'm gonna kind of figure this out. I need to figure out where this pull to start piece hooks up, whether that was some sort of starter piece or whatever. But again, she turns over, she doesn't run, but she turns over, and it sounds like it wants to start. So let me take a look at this. Got fuel in the radiator, or not fuel in the radiator, it's got coolant in the radiator. So I know there isn't a cracked block. It's been sitting for a couple years. Here's your little fuel pump right there. You got your fuel filters down here. And yeah, I wonder what this data tag says. Delco AC generator. Huh. Ohio, USA. Okay. Alright, well, I'm going to stick a battery back on this and then figure out where this linkage goes. And yeah. All right, we got the battery hooked up. Got me a can of ether. If this thing starts taking off, I'm gonna set my phone down in case this thing starts taking off. So we'll see if this thing fires. Oh, I dropped you guys. Where's the throttle lever on this thing? this tripod is rated for. But, I mean, it's holding it. I'm just gonna have to slowly drive forward, get this thing off, and then have to like climb up on the motor or something. I'm just scared something's gonna fail here. A bolt up there is gonna break, and the whole thing just comes collapsing down. But so far it hasn't done that, so let me pull forward. It's 11 in the morning. I took the generator off the back. That was a pain in and of itself. And now I'm just removing the engine from here. Then we're gonna go toss it in that tractor, and I'm gonna move it over into the barn or something. But what's happening right now is fuel filter's hidden down here, and then you got the stupid oil drain hose right here, and it's hidden. So I need to remove fuel filters, and then maybe, yeah, remove fuel filters and then push the engine backwards and see what happens there, and then pick it up. So I'm gonna get to working on this and start taking things apart here, and hopefully this thing kind of comes out. Oh, that's tight. Well, we got one last snag. It's this oil hose, and I need to, oh, actually, I thought it'd be a lot harder. I need to take the cap off, but I don't want to freaking drain the oil, because this is the oil drain. So if I take the cap off, the oil's gonna start coming out. So can I just, I think I might be able to push that through real quick, and then put the cap back on, or arch it up so it doesn't start spewing out. But let me figure this out. All right, drug the stand out from under it, and we got the engine just sitting here. I lifted it up a little bit more, and so we got the tractor hooked up to the other tractor, and I'm going to push the WD-6 into place, get the engine spun over like this, and drop the motor in it. It still needs to get lifted up a little bit higher. I already know this isn't gonna clear. So I'm gonna get to cranking here and get this thing probably another foot or two higher. You know, I thought at first that this motor looked a little small for this tractor, but now I'm thinking it looks a little big. It's pretty wide. It's a little too wide, so either I'm gonna have to put it a little far forward so I clear these brackets. I should just unbolt these. I'm gonna pull this thing up to the garage and take a torch, or just take Zippy and an Ugga-Dugga and just unbolt this stuff. I might just do that right now and toss it out of the way so I can get this thing kind of lined up better. But so far it's looking good. Got this pushed in here. Oh my goodness. This is gonna be so cool if this works out. But let me take this piping off. Well, look where we are now. So I got the tractor pulled into the barn, keep it out of the weather. I'm probably gonna be pulling it back out because I'm not gonna set the barn on fire using a torch. But right now it's just gonna be sitting in here for a little while. I'm gonna have to take some measurements here. Actually, I've already taken measurements. I've gotten a whole diagram written down of what I got here. But I've never seen a WD-6 with a Detroit 2V71 in it. So I guess there's firsts for everything. I wonder if this is the first tractor with our first WD-6 with one of these in it. I'd like to think it is, but I've seen a bunch of Farmall M's and MDs with these motors in them. They made conversion kits way back when to fit these motors in M's and MDs, but and that's kind of where I got the idea from. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this here. As you can see, we got the rear bell housing, and this bell housing isn't going to fit. And then we got the tractor bell housing, which the bell housing doesn't bolt onto the motor. It kind of just sits in there. And then there's motor mounts on the inside of the bell housing, which I'm probably going to have to take all this garb off. But I wonder if I could stick my camera. Yeah, you see those two holes? Those are where kind of your motor mounts go. And then you can see your throwout bearing and all that stuff in there. So anyhow, we got the motor in there. If you guys can find pictures of a WD-6 with a 271, that'd be much appreciated, because I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to do this here. As you can see, bell housing's too big. It's just sitting kind of on the frame rail. So I already know I'm going to have to remove this. And if I remove this, then I'm going to have to remove the starter, because that's what's bolted to the bell housing, of course. And if I do that, and the starter's not going to fit in there, so if I do that, I'm going to have to probably move the starter over to here. So yeah, I'm just figuring some things out. I've taken some measurements, and it seems like I'm gonna have to make brackets here, chop it like somewhere along right here, somewhere along right here, and then either have brackets that run from these side pieces that come out. I could do that, or have them where the original motor mount bolts were, at these two spots right here. So again, still trying to figure some things out. We got some data tags right here. This one says January 68, and then we got another tag, Pacific Fruit Express, repair date 4 of 75. So I wonder what they repaired on this thing, but that was way back when. I'll show you what I've got written down. We got the Detroit diesel right here, and we can see the total width at the bottom is 27.5 inches, and the inside to inside frame width of the WD-6 is 18 inches. So we're gonna have to cut this down quite a ways to make it fit inside the frame rail, and that's just on the front. I got a second picture here. That's upside down. Oh, both these are upside down. Here's a rear view of the Detroit diesel, and bell housing end to end is 19.5 inches. And then for the inside, or for outside to outside on the frame rail of the WD-6, we got 20 inches. Inside to inside on the bell housing is 19.5. Then inside to inside on the frame is 17 inches. So what I'm saying here is inside right here to inside right over there, 17 inches. Inside right here to inside over there, 19.5, if I'm correct, yeah. And then outside to outside on both sides is 20 inches. So that's where I'm at. Again, just taking measurements. I'm going to take these fuel filter mounts off. I'm going to have to remember where all these lines go. And from what I've seen online, they have mounted, like on the Farm All H's, they take these fuel filter brackets and they mounted them on the side of the block on the right hand side of the tractor. So yeah, figuring this out, because I need to drop this down however many inches so that it lines up with that with that input shaft. So what I'm going to do now, friggin' skeeters are bad. What I'm going to do now is take the gas tank off, take bell housing off, take all this junk off, because I put it on temporarily. Take all that off, and then lift up the engine and maybe unbolt the bell housing. But to unbolt the bell housing, you have to unbolt the flywheel, because flywheel's in the way of the bolts. I believe some of the bolts are on the inside, because as you can see, we got outside bolts here, and then there's no other bolts going around, so I can only assume there's a lip on the inside where they have it bolted in. So I'm gonna have to take all this off and kind of drop the back end into the engine, and then of course take most of this stuff off, take a torch, probably cut the sides, drop the front end into the engine. So yeah, I'm half tempted to try converting this thing into a crank start too, just so I don't have to deal with starter. Get out of the way. So I don't have to deal with the starter being in the way, because that's one of the major flaws here, because the starter sticks out too far on this side. And so yeah, but anyhow, that's where I'm at right now. I'm just looking at this tractor. It looks like they drilled some holes out here for some reason. Got some nasty carves into the cast all around this thing. It's just, it is a beat up tractor. I mean, you got broken off pieces here and whatever. So, yep. All right, so I'm going to write a few more things down, and this thing's probably just going to sit like this for a little while, probably for the next month, until I go to school, and I'll probably drag this to school and work on this in the auto shop at school. So that's how it's going, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video.